of the Helium 10 Xray tool. So again, even though my other machine optimization video does the same thing with data type, but I just wanted to explain the Helium 10 Xray tool in a short video to be able to give that to people because data type is very difficult to acquire. Helium 10 is mostly easier to acquire with bulk purchasing tools for beginners. Obviously, once you start selling or working at a better level, it's better to buy these tools on a monthly subscription. But basically, if you have searched this kitchen storage rack, so obviously, this will not show up for you if you don't have Helium 10, but this really gives you a good idea of like what the seller is doing, how many variations it has, how many sellers it's selling on. But I'm just going to go to the Xray tool right now. So you can start Xray and this gives you an idea of search volume, total revenue across the category or the first page, I guess. You have average revenue is 220K. This is a very good important figure, like how much an average guy is making at an average price of $57. Obviously, we will try to find out more about this. Average BSR, average reviews. This gives you an idea of like how competitive the category is. If the average reviews is like 300, you can probably reach that in a year. But if the average reviews is a few thousand, you're not going to catch up, right? And then we'll have to see if other people can make it. Average title character count. This is a good example of like if the people in the category are SEO aware of Amazon. So for example, if you try to find something like let me see if I can find something. So if you try to find this one, for example, Oxo is a brand which is a big brand, so they don't really care about SEO. So if you try to search this one, I assume this will come at a lower number. As you can see, 62 only. That's that. Now we're gonna export this data as a CSV file and save it. We will be just putting it into a sheet. So once you have it, you can import this file. So once you're importing it, again, so one thing that I try to do is I try to add the URL into a image. So you can just write image URL comma 80 comma 80. Okay, one second. Let me see what happened here. Yep, this should work. And as you can see, if you drag it like this, you should be able to see that image as well. So I'm going to drag the format for all of them. And then I'm just going to double click here. So this will give us all the images and you can align them center as well. Now, that is that, right? So now I want to help you understand on how to like get some insights out of this data because you have the data for all the products and all the different, let's say, things. So let's go through all the columns. So this is the display order, how it was looking up in Amazon. So this was, let's say, for the first one, there's this one. That is the first one over here as well. Then you have the title for them, and you have the ASIN, you have the URL if you want to open it up, right? And then you have the image URL, which we just used, brand, we have the price. This is the most important column, obviously. Then you have parent level sales. So this actually gives you a very important number because oftentimes you are seeing that the most important variation is not making insane amount of sales. That is the one ranking. For example, this is the one ranking, but if you open it up, you might see a lot of different variations. So like now we know that overall the sales are 138. Then you have ASIN sales. This ASIN is making 10 sales a month, but this one is making overall they're making 138 sales a month. Recent, I guess this one is saying 5,000. Let me see if we have a number. So I guess it is mentioning that 5K are bought this month. That would probably mean this is inaccurate, to be very honest, as you can see. And so parent level revenue is 13,000. We're going to trust this at this point. Although I do see why you might not want to do it. Because, for example, this one is saying 5,000, so it is actually 12,000 over here. So that's actually makes sense. Then we go to ASIN revenue, but we will focus on the parent data at this stage. So I'm just going to mark them as important. Title character count, VSR, we have country, we have fees, we have active sellers, we have ratings, review count, images, review velocity, and then you have um, size here, we have fulfillment, we have dimensions, weight, most clicked again. I will leave it. Creation date, sponsored, bestsellers, seller age. This is how many months they've been active for. And this is the seller, right? So now I'm going to try to help you understand the data on a few things. So let's try to uh, Control A. We will make a pivot table in a new sheet. So I want to try to understand the different brands selling this, right? So I want to understand how many different listings this brand has in the page. You can just add this. So now you will see the count A of this. So that means this unique product. The Amazon Basics has 6 of them. Okay. You can also sort by descending on the ASIN. So now you're saying, okay, Amazon Basics has the most listings. So StrongMix have the second one. That's okay. If you want to understand that further, let's understand how much revenue they're making. So parent level sales, we can add it here. So for these ones, how many sales they're making. So as we see, they're making a lot of sales, Amazon Basics. Let's see how much parent level revenue they're making. Since, just to confirm one thing, since uh, two variations of the same parent cannot be ranked on the same page, that is why we know that they are all unique of them. So if you want to understand, you can just copy it like this, and we can basically see the ASIN as well. So you can just say, okay, get me the ASIN. So now they say this ASIN is making this many sales, this ASIN is making this many sales, and everything, right? So you can obviously see that as well, right? Just like this. So again, I'm going to delete this for now. Or you can actually use this like it's a bit of a different thing. You can get them to here, and you can say, okay, I want to understand on this one. You can say, I want to understand Amazon Basics, right? So you can just say Amazon Basics, and you'll only get Amazon Basics. You can actually also add brand here, so you can see it here as well. So now you can see somebody here, and if you want to understand them, you can get them here. And if you want to understand even better, you can say, okay, I want to find the image. So you can say filter this data for this URL or maybe this one such that the ASIN is equal to this one. So that will actually get you the image as well if you want to take a look at it, right? So I'm gonna drag it down just like this. So that's this one. Now you can get the image as well. You can put it center. What this will do is this will help you understand, you know, if let's say I want to get song mix, so I can come here, um, sorry, scroll down and say I want to understand song mix. So as you can see, now you can see this one as well. Okay, so this is the brand level data. So as we are understanding overall, there's one more thing I should add, and that would be the market share. So I want to understand the sales market share and the revenue market share. So sales, or sorry, unit sales market share, just to be clear, and revenue market share. So in this case, this divided by sum of these would be the answer. And in this case, you need to press Control F4 to put them as constant. But now you cannot share this, meaning you cannot change this again because if you change the pivot table, it will mess up this number. Um, right, so if you drag it like this, now you need to do this change in column D. And now you will see that this is the data again, if you want to copy this, what you can do is you can basically come here and paste it as values, and then just mark the column header properly. So now in this case, you can see the data. Unlike, I'm just going to do this. Which brand is doing what in terms of the sales, in terms of market share. So as you can see, if you drag it, if you sort by market share, obviously, I'm going to remove. You can see the top 5 people are having 60% of the market share in terms of sales and 54% in terms of the revenue. I just want to add one more thing in this one. I'm just going to do this. Um, I want to add average price into this. So so if you want to have price, you can select it and add it here. In this way, this formula will not be affected. And the way you get about it is that first of all, it has to be in dollars, and the dollars. This also has to be not a sum, but an average price, right? I want to understand what is the average price each brand is selling at. So this will be an average. So now this will get you a better number, and you can copy this over here, and obviously you can, as you can see, this one is not getting filter, so you have to remove the filter and apply the filter again. Now this will also be filtered. So in this case, what we have done is we have understood, what are the top brands, what are their market shares. So again, in this case, what I will conclude from this is that what just happened there. I will just apply the formula again just to double sure. So basically, the top 5 guys are doing around 1 second. If you have to sort this, now they're doing 60%. So this guy is also one of the top people, but they don't have, he only has one ASIN. So what you understand is that first you understand what price the top guys are selling at. For example, first of all, this is an Amazon dominated niche. So Amazon Basics is quarter of the market. We have this brand that's 50% of the market. And if you see top 5 sellers, that's 60% of the market, right? And all of those guys are having very different average prices, and they're obviously dominating in each different sectors, right? This guy is, I guess, on an average. This guy is going very cheap, right? This guy is going very premium. This guy is going cheaper as well. This guy is also very cheap, right? Very, very cheap at $17, right? And only one ASIN in this one. So again, this is a good analysis of the brand. I'm going to move further to give you a better idea of what other things. I'm just going to mark it as this one. This is the brand. Let's go again. So I want to understand a few more things, right? Let's go and add a new pivot table. So I've discussed the price, but I want to discuss price even more. So I want to have the price's value. So this is sum of price. Right? I want to get average of price. So the average of price is this one, right? I also want to understand what is I guess let's add a few things here, right? So let's add a few columns here for understanding of price. So I want the average of price is this one, okay? But if I want to find the weighted average of price, let's say what price, weighted average of price would be based on sales, what is the price that it gravitates towards? So for example, I will just try to, this is a good example to understand weighted average. So for example, if if you're selling these things, and you're just making the sum of the price and dividing it by number of things. 5 is $53 average price. But considering that you are buying different things, right, at different quantities. So for example, you're buying $4 bread 7 times, right? You have quantity sold of 7. And you have an apple which is at $1 only, and that's you bought 8 of them or sold 8 of them. So if you add the sales at the end and divide it by the overall number, that is weighted average. So you get the average of price, but you basically weight it based on the quantity sold. So that is how this works. I'm going to try to do this. So weighted average. First, you find what price you want to find the average of. So I want to find the average of this thing. And then I want to find the average of this based on the sales, I guess, right? Parent level sales. So the weighted average is $43. Okay. This is the average, right? This is the weighted average based on sales. So again, as you can see, if as I will explain it as well, the top guys are the ones making most sales would probably be lower in price. That's why the weighted average is lower, right? So this carries more weight. And we're going to try to find mean, or let's say mean is the median. Sorry, yeah. What is median? Let me explain median again. So just to clarify, this is in this picture you have a good explanation of the median. So let's say if you want to find the median of these 7 numbers, you can say 1 to 3 on this side and 3 on this side. This is 6. 6 is the median. If you have 8 numbers, then you can basically find the center 2 and you divide it by 2. That's 4.5 is the median. If you want to understand what is the median of this page is, basically this is the full page, right? So if I want to understand how much median would be, how much probably this guy is making, right? He's in the center of the page, almost from the bottom and the top center of the page, maybe this one or this one. So this one would be the median. Let's find the median price. So I want to find the median of all of these values, right? The median is 49.99. Okay. So that is overall an understanding of the price. So this is done. Let's see what else you can get insights from this one. So I also want to understand which regions are dominating things. So I can just add this, edit. So I can basically add country into rows, and you will find the, one second. If I want to find out the average price of each country's, selling, Amazon is 41, China is 50.51. That's interesting. Hong Kong is 98. NA, I guess we can't find this one. The US is 54, so I guess the average price of this is different, right? Just to confirm, we can also find things here. So you can find the max as well, minimum as well. A good analysis would be like this. So this one could be minimum. I guess let's put this one as average. I also want to understand the minimum. This one would be maximum, right? Let me just. And then this one could be maybe median, right? So Amazon has an average of $41. The cheapest Amazon is selling is at $25. The highest Amazon is selling it at $71, and the center product is at $36, right? And the Chinese guys are selling at $51 on average, $14 as the cheapest person, 137 as the highest person, and then the 49 is the center guy. Same for Hong Kong, same for NA, obviously there's only a few, and same for US. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, go to the right. Let's try to understand what these guys are doing, right? So I want to understand how many ASINs are there for each of them. So this is 8 ASINs, 25. So first of all, Chinese sellers are how much? So let's actually add the ASINs, let's add the sales, right? So how much sales are they making? Okay. Now let's say how much revenue are they making as well, right? So ASIN now, parent level revenue. Let me just double check that this was all parent level revenue as well. Yep. So this is an understanding of like who is making more sales, right? So you can also add sales market share here, right? This divided by, again, before making these percentages, always copy and paste its values. This way you can easily get this data. You can remove the grand total and just do this. This divided by sum of this one. And this has to be F4. So that this remains fixed. You know, the sum of all of them has to be summed. And I'm just going to remove the, okay, I guess, let me just do revenue market share as well. So again, this divided by sum of this with an F4. Okay. So again, this would be a percentage. And so again, what we got is that 38% is Chinese, 19% is Amazon. So USA sellers are only 15% of this category. Again, at an average price of $54, they're able to make it. Okay. This is now country analysis. So brand, country, let's find out what else we can find. So that title character count, I still want to give you this understanding. So let's say if you try to make a pivot table out of this, right? Let me show you what it will look like. So it will not look like a good one. So let's say if I want to find out title character count, right? And I find out how many ASINs are in this one, how much are they making, and you know how much revenue are they making. Obviously, we can't. Doesn't give us anything. Okay. What I can do is I can make some different ones. Title character buckets. This would be let's say if this is actually a formula if s and this is less than 100 comma 1. I guess let me, this is less than 100 comma less than 100, okay, comma next addition, and this is greater than equal to 100 but this is less than 150, so 100 to 150 comma, and this is greater than equal to 150 but this is less than 200. 200, and then the last one would be this is greater than 200. That will be 200 plus. Obviously, this shouldn't happen actually. And in the end, if you can add 1 comma, check errors. If this is a fallback, again, you can, okay. Oh, this ending bracket is missing. There you go. So now it's, doing this. What you can do is you can do this instead of starting character counts, you can put buckets in this. First of all, you can do this like this as well. You can just remove it. So now you see most of the sellers are doing good SEO in terms of titles at least, right? This could be a good analysis of like how many sellers are already aware of all the SEO rules and everything. And only less than 100 is only two. And how much they're making, you know. And you can actually find a good, again, this is a big percentage, obviously. So you can actually get a better understanding of also something like this. So get maybe an average of what is this, right? So average sales for the guy doing less than 100 is only 30, 3,500. And even 100 to 150 is even less. But 150 to 200, the average sales is okay. Oh, I guess. So that means in this case, the 100 to 150 seems to be the ideal range. But again, this is skewed because Amazon uses that range probably. And let me just sort by brand to find that out. Yeah, this one, right? So we can actually do this over here as well. Let's find out which brands are driving that change, right? So we can just do this. So as you can see, Amazon Basics is the one that is driving that average up. And obviously there are other sellers as well, but this seems to be the ideal range in this case. Although I suggest this range because we want to have the most SEO optimized keywords. And again, Amazon does have some of them here as well. Number of ASINs should be number. Sales should be a number. And revenue, obviously you can maybe find the average revenue as well. That should be around $sign. So again, this is just a title character count. I'm making different pivot tables so that you can understand how to analyze data. So what else can we find out from this? Okay, so one other thing is review velocity. So review velocity, I want to help you understand this. So review percentage. So for example, if you have review velocity, again, this is a rough number. Review velocity is how many reviews you get in a month. Penetration sales is how many sales you get in a month. So if you divide this, divided by penetration sales, that would be your review percentage for that. So I want to help you understand again what sort of review rates are in the category. So again, we will try to say review percentage. So again, you have the same issue. So that's that, and review velocity as well. So I want to find again some sort of a way to make review percentage buckets. This could be 0 to 2%, 2 to 5%, 5 to 10%, and 10% plus, and this would be actually 0. I want to have 0 as separate, so that you can just add 0 in this ones, and in this one, and this one. So now I can go back and add review percentage buckets as well. Let's find out how many ASINs are in this. So this many ASINs. And then you have how many brands. And let's not do brands, that's not an important thing. How many ASINs are there? And so most of them seem to be in this range, right? Or in this range. So as more than 5% is actually not healthy. That means you're doing too much. And there's a good chance that Amazon will flag you at some point. But again, I'm just showing you the data and average. And then you can also find the parent level sales average as well. This would be a number. This would be a dollar. can drag it down, and you can have some sort of I also want to find out what is the average rank of that. So I can also find that out. So average rank is I guess in this analysis it doesn't really make sense because all of them have a very just most of them already are in the right range. So this doesn't really make sense. You can remove this. And that's pretty much it. So again, we understand review velocity as well. You will have to achieve this velocity as well. However, whatever it means, but you will have to achieve a comparable or better review velocity without getting flagged. And it should be around 5% is what the ideal is. So this should be review velocity. Okay, let's go further. I want to understand size tiers, FPA, category. Okay, so I will make another one, another pivot table. And I want to understand, let's say, what category people are selling in. So I would say, okay, so different categories, how many sellers, and what sort of revenue they are making from these categories. So let's say parent level sales, parent level revenue. Again, like maybe you can just get the sum for this case, just to understand. So most of them are in home and kitchen, and they are the ones making. I guess it's a bit iffy, if you see this on a sum level, you see this higher, but our brands, okay, this is actually just Amazon, so yeah, that makes sense. You should be in home and kitchen in this case, right? I'm going to copy this again. Let's find something else. So what size tier they are in? So most of them are in these two size tiers. And with size tier, you also want to understand the fulfillment fee. So fulfillment, oh, I guess fulfillment is FBA, but I want to get the fee. Yeah, this fee. So I want to understand what the average fee is. Again, we want to understand the average fee. So average fee in this case is obviously $15 to $29 in this case. Um, these two different ones, obviously they are two different size tiers. If you want to launch, you should launch in this one. And again, this will also allow you to have a very competitive price as well. So let's go further. Let's find the fulfillment. Where is fulfillment? So in this case, Amazon is 8, but this is basically FBA. So you should be in FBA in this one. Only one seller is doing FBM, fulfillment by merchant. Okay, let's go further. Let's see if we can do anything else. Oh, let's find the weight. What sort of weight should there be? So again, the weight one is a bit iffy because if you find weight like this, you'll get a lot of different ones. So I'm gonna try to make different buckets in this. So I guess 0 to 5, and let's make 0 to 5, 5 to 15, 15 to 30, and then 30 to 50. Let's actually just do 6 of them, okay? So I'll make a formula with ChatGPT. So create in column AE, formula, column AE5. I'm writing a very bad spelling, but it will make sense to ChatGPT AE5. If S formula, make buckets of 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50, and 50 plus, and fallback should say error. Let's see. This is the formula which ChatGPT gave me. Let's see if it works. So first, okay, let's see. This should work. Why? Because we cannot have comments in this. Again, if you give this back to ChatGPT, it should also tell you that you cannot have comments in this. But now let's go back and find the weight. So let's say I want to find the weight buckets. In this case, what you find is that this is the most frequent one, right? I also want to find the average price of these weight buckets. So what is the average price of them? So average price is different. This seems like the ideal range, close to the medium, sorry, close to the average price. And then most of the sellers seem to be around here with an average fee of $18 and selling at around $51. So this, they're also making good money as well. And again, yeah, this seems to be the most frequent one. But let's say if you want to find, um, again, this data is going to be skewed by Amazon as well because whatever Amazon sells, they sell a ton of it. So, yeah, that's that. But if I was launching it, I would be in this category. This seems to be the most frequent one. This would be different metrics. Let's see if we can find something else from this as well. There's one more thing that number of sellers. Oh, I guess images, right? So I want to give you the images as well in this case. So to the right and images. Okay, so as you can see, some sellers have a lot of different images, but most of the sellers have more than 6, 7, 8. Nobody has more less than 6. That's great, actually. Not a good news for you, but this tells you that all of the sellers have done their work on the number of images. That's actually bad news. But let's go further. Then you have number of sellers. I saw number of sellers here. I guess review count and rating is also an important thing. So review count. So one second. Again, you can add review count and let's say brand as well if you want to understand what sort of rating or reviews do they have. But I'm just trying to help you understand how each rating is on a category level as well. So review count is again going to be an issue. So what I will do is, so I will make different review buckets here as well. So there's one more way of doing it. You can just sort them by this. So let's say less than 300 is one group. So I can make it into a pivot group. Hopefully I can make it again as well. So again, sort by ascending. From 300 to, let's say, 700, let's make another one. And then from 700 to 1,000, let's make another one. 1,000 plus is, I guess, all fair game, but let's do 1,000 to 5,000. And 5,000 plus could all be in, I guess 5 to 10,000 could be another one. And 10 plus is just one group. I guess what just happened here. 26 and This is actually another way of doing it in terms of um, I guess it's. I'm just going to ignore this one for now. It should be done better. But for now, I'm just going to say this is 5 to 10K. This is the 0 to 300. This is this is 700 to 1000. This is 300 to 700. This is 1000 to 5000. No, I guess, yeah. This is 10,000 to 100,000. Yep. And maybe you can sort them by ascending. Yep, this will give you this data. Now, what you see is that you can maybe remove them as well, like this. What you see is that you can see the number of ASINs in this, sum of parents. So again, what you can do is you can find the average of this. So like, let's say, what is the average sales in this, right? And what is the average parent revenue in this? So as you can see, not average revenue for this small sellers is 37,000. Maybe you can actually sell. Again, it's a very competitive category, obviously, right? So average fees, what is the, again, it doesn't really make sense. The fees, but average price, I guess, makes sense because we don't understand what price they are, the ones, the new ones, right? Let me see if I can add this. That's it. Okay, so this is how you put it into one different ones. Okay, so now as you can see, this guy is making the most sales, right? The most sales and the most revenue is made by this guy. Maybe you can sort this by the descending orders of revenue. So as you can see, it's actually just exact opposite. It's most sales are made by these guys, and this guy, and these guys. So this is a very competitive category based on reviews. Most sales are made by the people who have the most reviews. That means the most experience and time spent in the category. This is a major red flag of why you should not launch in this category at all. So I guess I taught you different how to make pivot groups as well. Okay, what else can we do this? Maybe we can maybe add seller age in this. So let me show you this. These are actually the oldest guys in the obviously time. So I'm just gonna add seller age. Let's find average seller age, and you will see that this is obviously as time goes, they get more reviews, and that's why and an average is more than 10 years. This is no maybe 5 years. More than 5 years is the average. What is the maximum of this? Maximum is 92. That means around 8 years. Okay, so this is the different metrics. And yeah, okay. I think we've done a good job at this. Let me know if this makes sense. Thank you so much. And one more thing would be segmentation. So, for example, let's say if we want to understand what sort of material are these guys selling at. So, what you want to do is you want to add a new different one. So, let's say um, material And let's say I open this one. So this is alloy steel. Okay, so alloy steel is the material for this one. Let's open this one. Now there's also, you want to understand how many shelves there are as well, right? And you want to understand, let's say, shelf options, right? So for example, this guy is giving us 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 options, right? And this guy is 5, 4, 5 and 4, and that's it with the alloy steel. So this guy is alloy steel, but 4 and 5 only. This way you have to get, you know, all different ones. And what you will get at the end is this is 3, 4, 5 with alloy steel and plastic. So, you want to get 3, 4, 5, but alloy steel and plastic. But it's again mostly alloy steel. But just to give you an idea of why we are doing it, if you try to find out the ones with most sales, that is this one, Sicily, right? I'll just show you why I'm trying to help you understand this. First of all, this has like a lot of colors, right? Material is stainless steel, okay? So this is stainless steel, okay? But this one only has a single rack, right? This is a kitchen sink sponge holder, actually. This is actually not even a shelf completely, okay? So maybe you wanna, again, this is making the most sales in this category right now. This is actually a sponge holder slash one rack, okay? And it's actually small as well. Let's find this one. 2, 4, 6, and material is metal. So I guess we can just um, metal and 2, 4, 6. This way, what you want to do is you want to get all of them. So once you have done that, then you can basically make a new shelf options as well. This actually could be a good exercise for the team, for the students to finish this off. So I'm going to mix the pivot tables, select only this data. Obviously, don't select the first three columns, first three rows, make a pivot table, and this will be the segmentation of the market. So what shelf options are there, and what sort of material is being used. And then you want to find the average price, average price of this material, right? Once you add data, you will get this. And you want to get the sales, parent level sales, average sales. You want to get the parent level revenue, average revenue as well, right? Uh, yep. And sum of price now should be average of price, right? So you can see this one is 49.9, but that's because this is a very different rack. It's a very small rack. It's actually a sponge holder, not even a good kitchen rack where you can store a lot of things. So that's how you define this. So maybe you want to launch this one, and maybe you can launch this one, but then later add bigger shelves as a variation. So that could be a good strategy as well. So again, you have to fill this up on your own time, and then you will get this segmentation as well. Then you can find out what you can launch in this category and which you cannot launch. Okay, thank you so much. And I think this would be a good video of you to having an understanding of Xray slash analysis of market. Thank you so much.